Welcome to the shit show.
It is the All Elite Wrap-Up for September 4th, 2024. Forgive us for getting a little slow out the gates, but we are broadcasting to you live right after AEW Dynamite. After AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night. We like to do this show on Thursday nights. We like to sleep on it. We like to give it a rest, right? Think about it throughout the day, not give just hot take opinions all the time. But sometimes things prevent us from doing that. And Tom, one of those things is the Kansas City Chiefs kicking off the NFL season tomorrow night en route to an inevitable three-peat. So Tom, we're going to be watching that tomorrow night. So we decided we would talk about AEW Dynamite tonight. And we've got some folks in the chat. We got Fuck Your Mama 2 times saying, what up, boys? Long time no see, been MIA for a while. But I'm so glad I'm back for tonight's show. Holy Sheeta, that Hangman promo. Fire. Literally. He says that Swerve versus Danielson match is one of my favorite matches all year long. But if you would have done Hangman versus Swerve in Wembley cage match for the belt, would have sold another 80K after that promo. We are going to talk about all of these things. We're going to talk about Hangman. We're going to talk about Swerve. We are going to talk about fire. Like all of those things. You know what else I like, Tom? People. Sometimes. I like people sometimes.
You know what I like? Your shirt. You want to tell people why you're wearing that shirt?
I don't.
Okay, well, then I'll tell them. You lost. And what happened is we do picks about AEW pay-per-views, and the person who loses has to wear that shirt after the pay-per-view, and then when we do picks for the next pay-per-view. So since this is a little back-to-back, I don't think Tim's taking the shirt off. I've heard from viable, reliable sources that you have been wearing that shirt in the shower and in bed. So don't want that back.
I shower.
Well, I didn't say you were. I just said you were in it, right? You may shit in the shower. It's a bigger surface area. You know what I mean?
I am wearing this horrible Jeff Jarrett shirt. You gotta say it like that, right? Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett wearing the shirt. Yes, because I did lose the picks game. I feel good about this one. I don't.
Yeah, you did.
I feel good about this one. And then I'm finally gonna break the curse, and I'm gonna be able to hand this shirt to Tom. And he can take it unwillingly. I hope. We're going to do that. We're going to make our all-out picks. What?
I just realized, programming note, I will not be available to do the show next week. I am taking a vacation to Seattle. So if I do lose
how convenient. Yeah. No.
What do I do?
Darn. Yeah, exactly. That's how that's going to work. But we'll get there when we get there, right? When that inevitably happens and you do lose these picks games, we'll figure it out, right? We will figure it out. But that's interesting. Tom's going to be over in Seattle. But back to what I was saying. I like people, and you can connect with us. You, the people. You can do it by threads. It's all _elite_ wrap up on threads. Where Tom is feverishly threading away throughout the shows. So if you've interacted with us there, it's usually with Tom. Just go to www.allelitewrapup.com for all the links you might need, including being able to donate, right? There's 2 ways to donate. There's Cash App and a PayPal. And one of the best ways to donate that people like to do is become our beer sponsor of the week. You send us some money and say, grab some beers, and then we tell everybody great things about you, like great how you smell, the kind things you do for people, you know, how much money you got, all that kind of stuff. We tell people great things about you.
And you can join a great number of people who have already done it in the past. We have had a good number of people do this. So don't feel like you're going to be the first person. We've had multiple dozens of people do this. So feel free to join. Yeah.
Well, and that brings me to, our beer sponsor of the week. This week, Tom, is nobody.
Hey, it makes sense because this is the week of the first opening weekend for NFL football. As you mentioned, we're doing this on a Wednesday night because tomorrow night the Chiefs kick off the drunk tonight. We are men of a certain age. We can't just, chase the hare, as they say, and keep it going. So we gotta pace ourselves. So thank you to everyone who didn't do it this week. But next week, well, we're back on it. Actually, we're not because I'm not here. But then after that,
you're like totally the next week. Then send all your beer money. This shirt. Fuck your mama 2 times. Again, this is the gentleman's name. Don't anybody come at me, right? I love the name, though. Fuck your mama 2 times. He says, you need to upgrade that Double J shirt. He's a face now. I mean, regardless, he's not a face on this podcast. But this shirt, again, I want to remind for anybody new, this shirt looks like the man took a Welcome to Wyoming shirt and just replaced the wolf with his damn self on it. Look at this thing.
Yeah, and are you meaning that he just has a face? Because he is definitely not a face. Just because some people from England cheered him because they haven't seen him in 30 years doesn't mean that he's liked. Does not mean that at all.
Jeff Sarrett said, look at that beautiful Montana shirt. Just take the Longhorn Ram off of it and put my face on there with a guitar. Tom, you're going to wear this shirt after next week. It is going to be in your property, and I'm excited. You know what else I'm excited about? New friends, Tom. In addition to Fuck Your Mama 2 times in the chat, we have the WWND pod, the Wrestling with Neurodivergence podcast. We've been talking to these folks recently. Awesome people over there. We suggest you listen to their podcast, after ours, of course. Listen to their podcast. It's really fun. But we've invited them, said, please come talk to us here, right? Find ways to interact with us. We love Voices. I think it's an awesome show they're doing over there, and I'm glad they're here. They said return to the JJ shirt, which, yeah, it's here every time we're around picks, right? If we've got to do picks before and after, you're going to see this shirt. And next time you see it, you will see it on Tom.
Oh,
Tom.
Man.
What's wrong, Tom?
He mentioned that there's a new shirt, so I was like, what is it? And I looked at it. It's fucking horrible. It's worse than that one. It's just
all right, so we need to upgrade the shirt.
It's just his arrow to a dick and then just his hat. Like, what the fuck is that? It's a tip of the cap pointing towards his dick, and it says last
Point those double J's.
Yeah. Oh, my God. He's pointing down there so that he remembers it, because he obviously has so much CTE.
When one of us inevitably has to like cast this out, so you know what I mean, like the odor is just gone from their home and we have to get a new one, maybe we'll discuss that one. But Tom, is there anything new in Tom's life that we need to discuss before we get into tonight's festivities? I mean, the Royals they've won one again, right? So
hey, we still own that third wild card spot with less 20 games to go. We're 5.5 up, I believe, as last checked, on the Red Sox and on the Tigers. So it looks like we're going to make that last wild card spot. And motherfuckers, once we get into the tournament, you guys are so fucked. The best baseball player in this world, Bobby Witt Jr., is going to take his baseball bat. He's going to turn that son of a bitch sideways, and he's going to stick it all the way up. The Yankees, the Twins, the Guardians, all of the Dodgers, all their asses. He's going to say, I'm the best, Shohei. Get the fuck out of here. And he's going to win.
You're going to learn the meaning of Bob Tober, son. You bitches.
Yeah, hot Bob Summer. And then he's going to go to Arrowhead, and he's going to celebrate with the World Series championship in the middle of the field when Patrick Mahomes says, that's cool. Check out my Super Bowl trophy. And then they're going to just do a fun dance on the 50-yard line saying, we're the 2 best athletes in this world, It's the 2 best athletes in any city in the world.
And then they're going to high-five Tom on their way off the stage. You know?
A better 1-2 combination in any city in this world. You can't.
Except Tim and Tom.
Well, yeah, but we're technically not in the same city. You get what I'm saying. Then we also have the best B-side 1-2 punch with future Hall of Famer Salvador Perez, 2015 World Series MVP, future 2024 World Series MVP, and the greatest tight end of all time, Travis Kelce, probably the most popular human on the earth right now, because
soon to be record holder for most receptions in the postseason or something like that, right? Whenever that happens, yeah.
All of this. And
it's amazing. It's amazing to be a Chiefs and Royals fan right now. And then we still
got Chris Jones and Vinny Pasquantino. Guys, you guys are so fucked with sports. It's all here. You know, if you just join us, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to be a Kansas City sports fan right now. Like, what would you rather be? A Kansas City fan or like Charlotte? You know, Charlotte, North Carolina? Cleveland? Hey, guess what? Cleveland fans, we'll do you a fun little game here. How about we'll do a meetup? We'll bring our World Series championships, and then you bring yours. Huh? And then how about this?
Yeah.
Well, then how about this? You guys have rebranded, right? The team left, unfortunately, went to Baltimore, but then you guys got a team back. So since that time period to now, we'll do another party. where we'll bring our Super Bowl championships and then you bring yours. Hey, and guess what? You have a rapist as a quarterback. That's fucking cool. So this is why you just need to be Chiefs, Royals, Kansas City fan.
All right, so before we ostracize everybody, let's get into the pro wrestling. Everybody else in Kansas City, just hang up the fucking, just put your phones down, just log off, just do this. Tom was in a down mood, but once we got him able to shit on every other city in America other than Kansas City, his mood turned right around, and you guys are in for a treat because of it. So we're going to cover AEW All Out is coming up, and we felt it efficient tonight to not bore you with an AEW Dynamite rundown and then some All Out picks. We're going to make some All Out picks, and then as we cover All Out, we'll discuss, hey, on Dynamite, here's what led us up to here, yeah?
Yep, and before that, though, we've got a call. We've got some voicemail.
We do have a call.
Fun.
This is like I was saying.
Our European correspondents.
Yeah. In addition to the chats here, like the WWND pod is in here, Fuck Your Mama 2 times is in here, and we get lots of folks in and out of the chats throughout these live streams. You can interact with Tom on Threads, or you can send us an email, aewrapup@gmail.com. Send us anything, audio, written out, text, video clip. We'll play it or read it right here, and we'll talk about what you want to talk about. And we have our senior European correspondent lined up, Ash Hendricks. Tom.
All right, so the international correspondent's back in the building. My apologies for the delay. I was supposed to send it last week, but I thought I sent it to the wrong email because I'm really, really smart like that. But yeah, All In was incredible. I think the vibe was better than last year because I think because how good the first one was, we were expecting them to exceed their expectations, and I think they did personally, considering I was there live. A lot of people were very drunk, as it is for British people. I saw maybe about 7 or 8 people get escorted out of the building. That was quite fun. The vibe was incredible. There was yes chants before the doors opened. That was great. The matches itself were fantastic. As usual, the British crowd showed up, but it doesn't really translate on TV, and I've watched it back twice now, but geez, like when Nigel McGuinness came out, when MJF came out, when Ospreay came out, Swerve and Bryan Danielson, you couldn't hear their music playing really, because everyone was just going ape shit. There was a really funny thing where during the ladder match, there was one of the fans 2 rows behind me had a hardcore title but made out of paper. So he was walking up and down the stairs showing it off, and then people would come out from behind him and attack them and do pins and do 1, 2, 3 and shit, and it was quite funny. A lot of people were laughing. I was laughing. I missed most of that match because I was trying to get involved myself, but didn't quite work out for me. Very, very drunk as well. Got very emotional at Bryan Danielson winning. I cried when Nigel McGuinness came out as well. That was quite entertaining. Well, it was pretty cool. There was a bunch of content creators around, doing that videos, and people jumping and getting involved. Overall, the vibe was there in comparison to last year, in my opinion. And it was good to watch back again as well. Once again, I couldn't see myself in the crowd, so we'll try again next year. I guess for Forbidden Door, which is going to be quite cool too. The one outside the building, so I'd seen Swerve at this pub the day before the event, and I think he might be antisocial in real life or something, because I was seeing him just get surrounded. Well, it's probably just because wrestling fans are annoying. But I've seen a bunch of people queuing up, asking for pictures for him and everything like that, trying to pick his brain and ask about wrestling, and he just looked like he didn't want to be there. Not very smart, because that's what all the wrestling fans are at, but whatever. It was quite fun though. And and one final thing, yeah, whoever invented Popeyes, yeah, chef kiss, because there wasn't a Popeyes in the Wembley area last year, from what I can remember. But there was one this year, and I spent maybe about £50 over the 3 days just eating Popeyes food. So whoever invented that, good on you. But yeah, which brings me to my question for you guys: is there been an event, either wrestling or otherwise, that exceeded your expectations? And likewise, is there an event, wrestling or otherwise, that didn't live up to the hype? Ones that you've seen live in person. And that'll be it then. I am As. I'll Have a good show, and I might be back next week, but I might not. Who knows? Peace out.
I would have loved to seen some video of happy, drunk, crying Ash Hendricks during Bryan Danielson's celebration. That would have been fun. I'm glad you had a blast out there. I'm sure Swerve was being mobbed and tired and ready to be, just ready to be done with it. Look, I get tired talking to some wrestling fans. I can only imagine Swerve dealing with that. But I know one of the events that exceeded my expectations was honestly All Out. Yeah, you got the chair right there, Tommy. I was just gonna pull it up. Yeah, that was a blast when we went to All Out Chicago. What is this? 2 years ago now. The infamous Brawl Out, All Out. That crowd was just on fire in a different way. I haven't seen crowds in a bit. The ones that what's the flip side of exceeded? They just kind of left me underwhelmed. I don't know about like big time events like that, but several WWE events leading up to us kind of giving up on WWE. Anytime Raw or SmackDown came to Kansas City, about an hour in, I was like, Jesus, can we leave early? Like, I'm done with this now.
Yeah, I would say for me, one that exceeded my expectations was All Out 2022. I would also say there was a SmackDown. I can't remember the year, but it was during the first ECW invasion. So it was a SmackDown episode where Taz was calling play-by-play with Michael Cole. Kurt Angle gets in his face. What the fuck are you going to do? Hits him in the head with a chair. They take Taz out. At the end of the episode, the ECW originals came out. Sandman, the Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer, and they're brawling with all the WWE guys. Kurt Angle's getting people out of there. And then Taz's music hit. And I swear to God, every pore in my body started to just get out of like sane. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. And I was like, ah. And I just grabbed someone. I remember just grabbing their shirt, like the back of their shirt. And I was like, that's and they were like, I don't know you. I was like, I don't care. I was the best.
When you said every pore, right before you said every pore in my body, you were saying P-O-R-E. I was thinking, much like MJF, I thought you were referring to others. I thought you were referring to the pores.
Well, all the pores.
All the pores around you. Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah.
But then there's also been concerts. Oh, there's been so many concerts. One of the ones that always sticks out to me because I had no idea who they were. And when I saw them, fucking changed my life. But A Perfect Circle. Do you know who that is? A Perfect Circle.
Yeah, I know who that is. Mm-hmm.
Never heard of them. Saw them at Cannes. Right. Saw them at Cannes Rocks Ass. Remember that one-time event at the racetrack?
Cannes Rocks Ass or whatever.
Girl Talk was awesome. The Black
Girl
Keys
Talk's awesome.
Great. Yeah,
Girl Talk is one of my
Black
favorites.
Keys. Yeah. Grace Potter and the Nocturnals.
All Day.
You had
Girl Talk's All Day album is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Eminem was there, but I had never heard of Perfect Circle, and there were so many people. I can't remember who the act was, but that part was just like flooding. And so I went over there. The fucking lead singer doesn't face us. So like the crowd's here and he's just playing a guitar. And so I was like, what the fuck? And then they played Count Sheep. Well, what's that song called? Count Bodies Like Sheep to the Rhythm of the War Drum. And that song, oh my fucking God. If I play that song, someone's getting their neck broke because I will fucking lose it. It might be my own neck, but someone's fucking losing it.
That's your version of Throw Them Bowls.
Oh my God, I love that song.
All right. The WWND pod also says if he liked Popeyes, he'd lose his mind over Wisconsin deep fried cheese curds. Man, yeah, Ash, I don't know how much international travel you've been doing, but yeah, we got to get you over here to have all the heart attack American foods. We can get you some Kansas City barbecue over here. Get you some Culver's, right? We'll get you some. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing I was thinking about, Kansas City, we're always known as the barbecue city, right? And rightfully so. We have amazing barbecue. One thing, though, that I think we should prop up a little bit more and be more proud of is Russell Stover's is from Kansas City.
Russell Stover's is here, yep.
And that's some of the best chocolate in the world. We need to fucking, but I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we need to be like, hey, come here, get a Z-Man, but then go to Russell Stover's.
Go to Russell Stover's.
Yeah, that place fucking rules.
Here's another thing that doesn't get talked about enough. The taco capital of the United States, they say, is Kansas City, Kansas. The street tacos down there are something beyond your imagination.
Swear to God, Swear to God, not even kidding. If you do come to Kansas City and you go to Joe's KC, the gas station, the true one, and the line is out of control, and you're like, what the fuck? I'm really hungry. I can't go. Literally just walk on the other side of that street, and the Mexican place Taco Republic right there fucking rules. Right there, you get another great spot of amazing food. And then if you go down into the Crossroads area, all that little strip of Mexican restaurants on the other side of up down KC is fucking great. I tell you what, we fucking rule. Just Kansas City is just so fucking great. Besides our shitty roads, we are amazing. Like, we fucking rule. Don't drive anywhere, but oh my God. The roads are so bad, it'll change the radio station. If you're listening to the radio station on your rental car and you're going like this and you make a turn, you might lose that station for life. Like, it's the worst.
If the place that does your alignment doesn't guarantee that they'll adjust it, then just don't get in alignment.
Yeah. If you want to save money on a chiropractor, just drive down 39th Street. It'll fucking clean you right up.
Clothes in a sudsy bucket and just set them in the back of the car. Your clothes get washed on the way. All right, anyway. Tom, let's get into AEW All Out. As we said, we're going to cover the matches here from AEW's website here, allelitewrestling.com, as of Wednesday night, September 4th. So when new stuff comes out from Rampage or Collision, if they throw another match in here, we didn't hear about it. Tough shit, right? Don't sue us. Please don't sue us.
Correct.
Please don't sue us. Tom, and then, of course, we will talk about Dynamite and what happened. To lead us up here, feel free to join in on the chat. Feel free to send us your picks later to show us how smart you are and how bad we are at this or whatever. All right, Tom, we are going to have let me pull this up here and get a little bit more zoomed in on it so I can see what's going on. We have the World Tag Team Championship on the line. The Young Bucks taking on Blackpool Combat Club. What do you say here?
Oh,
it's
this
Claudio
is
and Yuta, of course.
Yeah. Yuta, Willer Yuta. I tell you what, God bless that guy. He really tries to look menacing. He looks like a mayor from a town where they all sing. You know what I mean? Like hey, everyone, wake up today. Like, that's what he looks like to me. He just looks like, if you just put glasses on him, he's a substitute teacher. He just
looks like to me like the guy if you're playing pickup basketball or like friendly, like two-hand touch football or something. This guy's taking it a little too seriously.
Oh, you see that vibe. I see that he like is non-confrontational, but wants to be. You know what I mean? The like fake fight guys. Oh, I fuck him up. Well, he's right there. Oh, my wrist hurts. Oh, that's odd.
I get the guy who doesn't want to fight, but in a moment he thinks you're not going to fight. And he can get some right? Like,
oh, you think he's a cheap shot artist. Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, I think this is Young Bucks though, right? Like this is Young Bucks.
Young Bucks again. Matthew Jackson, just one of Nicholas Jackson. Very good wrestlers. They're going to retain. Why would they lose their titles to something weird like this?
Well, and honestly, I mean, like, yeah, we did have the Blackpool Combat Club featured in the match here in Dynamite, right? But like, did we do much for this story today?
Well, I think this is what we did. So in the main event of tonight's AEW Dynamite, it was a trios match. It was Will Ospreay and the Conglomeration, which consisted of Kyle O'Reilly and who was it? I already forgot the fucking people's names.
Was it Will? It was.
No, it wasn't Willow. It was
Will Ospreay. Not Willow.
No, it was, Will and Orange Cassidy. Sorry, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, Will Ospreay. Of the two of them were from the Conglomeration. Taking on Pac, Claudio, and Yuta, who are the trios champs. I think what this did though is after the match, you got Pac versus Ospreay beating each other up. You got Jack Perry to beat up Bryan Danielson, which added a little heat to that. They did announce that they're going to do, I guess, a superstar 6-man tag on Collision this Friday night, where it's going to be essentially Danielson and then the Conglomeration versus the Elite, I think it was. So that should be fun. You get more interaction, basically Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson. But yeah, this is going to be, and then it also got this match, right? It got us the tag match where we just didn't say it out of thin air.
Lisa from the Wrestling with Neurodivergence podcast picks the Bucks, which, I mean, yeah, I think that's an easy answer in the chat. And Fuck Your Mama 2 times says, I missed the Willow drop. Willow! And that says, I missed you guys. And we missed you too. We missed you so much.
You know what I hate the worst about the Willow drop?
Willow!
Yeah. Is, and for the longest time, I was unaware of this. And then I started watching more and more back from past episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You put the fucking Jeff Hardy face up there too. Like that's even, God damn it.
Yeah, all the more reason you should watch the live stream. Even if you can't catch the live stream, you can go back on YouTube and watch it back later if you don't want to just listen, right? You can always live. And I try to remember on Spotify, I can kind of upload it as both. And so if you have the Spotify, you can watch it both ways. You can kind of go in and out, right? Audio, video, audio, video. Same thing with the YouTube music, I believe, if you subscribe to the right one. There's a live stream version, and then there's a podcast version from our website, alleatwrapup.com. So if you have any troubles figuring it out, email us, aewrapup@gmail.com. Yeah, Tom, Fuck Your Mama 2 times says the Jeff Hardy face is the best part. Yeah, we're a big fan of Jeff's here on this podcast.
Are we?
We are. What's happened to all the Jeffs? You know, we used to have a lot of Jeffs in the chat.
Oh, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And let me correct myself on Friday
Jeff
nights,
deficiency right now. A Jeff efficiency.
We're still making Jeffs, which is good to hear. Let me correct myself. It's going to be basically the Blackpool Combat Club because really John Moxley's been replaced by Pac versus the Elite on Friday night. So yeah. And let's talk about that real quick. Let's get away from our picks just for a split second. We did get John Moxley. It looks like Darby will show up at All Out. Him and Moxley will have some type of conversation, confrontation, whatever it may be. Tonight, though, we got Marina Shafir beating up on men, which I don't condone. And then John Moxley goes up to Jack Perry. He's like, I don't care what they say. You're a sweet guy. And then goes to the ring.
I think you said he was.
Sweet kid. Yeah, sweet kid. Then he goes into the ring and basically says, hey, I'm not an impatient person, but also the time's ticking. Darby, I just want a conversation. And so look like we're going to get that. So that's another little thing that's not listed on the rundown that most likely will happen at All Out or maybe next week's Dynamite.
Did we glance over the whole "this is not your company anymore"? Are we forgetting that he said that? I go back to, was he not supposed to say that? Because that
no, I think he was, but I think the thing that we're supposed to think, that's a fun little sentence, is the interaction that John Moxley had with the Elite, because it wasn't just Jack Perry that was backstage that he looked at. It was the Young Bucks as well. Now, no Okada. It was just 3 of them, not the full 4 of the Elite. But
the real badass of the group wasn't there.
Yeah. But there was no hostility. It was almost like a Cold War where it's like, okay, are we going to fight or are we cool? And so John Moxley essentially broke the ice there and was like, hey, you're a sweet kid. Now, they grinned, but that could have been you guys are also soft. We're here to fucking stomp on your dreams as well. So who's to say? But that's a quick side note as we're going through our Dynamite recap and / All Out pick. So what do we got next, Tim?
Well, next is going to make you even more happy because we have a Chicago street fight, which features Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway.
Big Stoke!
Along with Willow Nightingale. Well, not along with verses, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and the WWND pod. No, we did not alienate all the Jeffs. We would welcome all Jeffs except for one. They know who they are. But we used to have a lot of Jeffs at one time, but now they kind of come in and out. So kind of scheduling is why we are not the number one Jeffs podcast. Yeah.
We love the Steves. We love the Johns. We love the Tims. We love the Lisas. We love the Marie. We love everybody. Everybody except you. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Know who you are.
Yes. So with this, Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. Side note, as you mentioned, Big Stoke in the corner of Chris Statlander, as I always like to say, because it's a humble brag that I absolutely love. Stokely Hathaway wished me a very happy congratulations on my wedding day. He texted my best man, to say, I hope Thomas and Emily have a great wedding and you do awesome as well, because he was the best man, so he had some obligations to do as well.
Did he follow it up with
You raggedy bitch?
I mean, look, everyone calls me that, right?
Yeah.
That was in the vows, as you.
He's like, I mean, he said, he followed that up, but like, so did my boss.
Yeah.
So did the police officer when he pulled me over.
I think my wife said it in like the third line of the vows. I didn't say it back to her because obviously she's not, but I think she said that to me. But who's to say? We don't know. Your memory is not everything what you remember. I got Willow Nightingale, Chicago street fight. She's
Surprised you remember that phrase so well. Anyway, but yeah, you got Willow in this one.
Yeah. The god of this shit. Here's
queen.
her. Yeah.
But here's her shit.
Here's her male counterpart, the god of this shit, the other god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage.
Yeah.
DK all motherfucking day. You look at that. Gage.
Oh,
this is my favorite one.
I still smile every time. Nick Gage forever for me is gonna equate you. When we met Nick Gage, and I swear you would have ran off with this man into the night to rob a bank, to knock off a liquor store. You would have done anything. You're like, let's go, man. It's you and me against the world. Let's do this. Man. You literally said, I love that energy. Love it.
I would have started a cult. And I told my wife that too when we got back. I was like, if you would have asked me to do legitimately anything, I would have said yes. I would have just went into the night and fought alongside him until I died.
You gave the, like, when you're like, are we hugging or what are we doing? And then you give the like aggressive, like low five, and you went, I love that energy. And you like, he's like, I love your energy. Like he started to get a little nervous. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Love the best. Anyway. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I think it feels like Willow is the queen, the goddess of the shit, and needs to win street fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like we kind of shit on Stokely and Statlander a lot in this situation, right? Like, I don't necessarily that we shit on them, but just they get the short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
But this does feel like a blow-off type match, and I feel like Willow's got to win the whole feud.
And I also think maybe this leads to, even though Statlander's doing great, I don't know if Statlander is the most believable heel. I think she's a natural baby face. So this might lead to Stokely Hathaway saying, I got someone else. Chris Statlander, you got kicked to the curb. And then we may do in 6 months, a year, a reunion of Willow and Chris Statlander. But I think maybe this might be the starting point of Stokely Hathaway leaving Chris Statlander. That's what I could see happening.
All right, so I'm torn on my pick here because I'm looking ahead and I'm trying to pick what I think we're going to pick, right? And I'm stuck in that situation again where, like, I can't tie you, right? And there's some definite ones where, like, it's inevitable, right? So I've got to pick with you on some of them. Because as tight as All In was, where a lot of things could go either way, I think we've got a lot of matches here where it's pretty clear, right? What's going to happen. So, and this one, though, I feel like I might be able to sneak a point here if I go with the Statlander, and it happens, because this is one where I feel like it's not so cut and dry here.
Okay.
And I love me some Stokely Hathaway.
Big Stoke. Woo!
But I'm going to go with Willow. So, all right, let's move on. Did we cover what happened on Dynamite? We saw Willow with the conglomeration.
Yeah, there was nothing really there. There was a backstage promo. I will say credit to Kyle Riley for the phone conversation, him actually doing his part while Mark Briscoe said what his part on the phone was. That was a good job from Kyle Riley. He does the nerd stuff pretty well. So I did like that. But yeah, no, Willow just basically said, kicking your ass, and we'll get there on Saturday.
Man, fuck your mama 2 times brings up a good point. Says Stat has not won any match in this feud. I see Stat winning. Didn't she win a match in this?
Brother, I have brain fog like a motherfucker. You saw those drugs I'm on. I don't know what the fuck I'm even saying right now.
Man, I'm wondering if I should pull an Uno reverse and swap my pick. The neurodivergence pod, they're feeling the Stat too. I'm gonna do the phone a friend. I'm changing. I'm going to Statlander. Going to Statlander.
Protest. I protest these picks.
Yeah. Clearly, this is election interference.
Yeah.
You stole the election from me.
Obviously.
We need to find 23,768 votes or whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to obviously have some kissing cousin mouth breathers storm your house. What? What's the next?
I told him to fight like hell. I didn't tell him to like go fight anybody. What? Why would they do that?
Yeah, my state senator said fight, and they said okay, and he said, "Oh God," he just started running. That was
Dude,
that
bitch ass
yeah,
throwing his fist up like he's part of the fucking.
And then runs. So it would have been one thing if he's like, "No, they're cool with me. I'm going to stay here." Okay, like again, you're a fucking evil person, but respect. But you just ran quicker than anyone else. You fucking coward. Anyhow.
All right. We're getting to some of the fun stuff here. I mean, this is obviously the fun stuff with Statlander and Willow. And look, either way that this goes, there's going to be brutality. There's going to be some hard-hitting stuff. There is going to be some hilarious moments with Stokely involved. And it's going to be one of the matches of the night.
Can't wait.
Another one that could show up as like a in-ring match of the night, MJF versus Daniel Garcia, right? This one might sneak up and surprise some people. And I know we've got Ospreay Pac on the card here, right? We've got Paige Strickland on the card here, but MJF Garcia, man, these dudes might throw us down something here.
Yeah, and tonight Daniel Garcia pulled his best Eddie Kingston impersonation by running out saying, "No, turn off that music, MJF. You're a bitch." And MJF did his, well, let's slow all this down. What the fuck are we talking about? One thing about the arena, though, they probably planned this before they got to the arena, and then it was like, oh shit, it was just a table in an entryway. It wasn't they weren't in a suite. They were literally just, and I was like, that looks weird, but I digress. But MJF said, hey, let's calm it down. I'm gonna do you a favor. They're all gonna turn on you eventually, like they did on me. So I'm going to put you in a wheelchair, and isn't that great? Daniel Garcia says, hey, you're fake. Everything's fake about you. Even when you went to Turkey to get that hair transplant that didn't work. Ha, 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 ha. Okay. Then what did MJF make fun of his mother or something like, you sleep with your mom or something.
Yeah, he said like she'll be taking care of you while you're laying there flat in the bed. And he was like, that's not the only person who laid flat in the bed of hers that she eagerly attended to or something like that.
Yeah. So she's going to fuck her son. That's cool. Like Trump. But he wants to fuck his daughter. Don't ever forget that. That is a fact. He said it on The View and on Howard Stern. But then he was like, well, I don't like that, Daniel Garcia says. And he jumps up because I'm going to beat these people up. And security does their thing. They're like, hey, don't. And he fights through them. And then as soon as he gets to MJF, glass bottle upside the head, breaking kayfabe for a quick second. Great blade job to get right on the point of the head where the blood would go on the ice. Now, again, he hit him with the bottle and he's out unconscious, got the blood, and MJF
kayfabe.
Yeah. But MJF then just cuts this mean, like, you're a piece of shit, basically. And then kisses him, gets the blood on his mouth, licks it.
Are you
guys getting tested
with him?
Yeah. Come on. Did you guys not learn anything from Abdullah?
Me and my hep homies, baby.
Yeah. So with all that being said, who do you have? Do you want me to go first on this, MJF Garcia?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your take because this is one where, like, I feel like the storyline says Daniel Garcia wins, but MJF did just lose. That's two major things in a row. Yeah.
I'm going MJF because I don't think MJF, look, he's Teflon, right? He could lose the next 10 matches, goes away for 3 months, comes back, and he's a top guy. Like, there's no really hurting the MJF character per se, especially as a heel. But I don't think, with as protected as he is with his wrestling matches, that he would just lose back to back. I think this will then lead to the next thing, right? I think whatever the big next Dynamite is or the big next pay-per-view, that's
Run it
then
back.
where we get it. Yeah, that's when we'll get.
That's how I feel. I feel like we're running it back here. I feel like MJF sneaks a heel victory, gets his thing, gets his moment, stands there, and we run this back next Dynamite where he's like, and Daniel Garcia was a bitch, and he can't do nothing, and that's why I fucked his mom, or whatever he's going to say, right? And then, Daniel Garcia will come out of the crowd and whoop his ever-loving ass, and we're on again.
WWN
however,
says,
yeah,
says they got Garcia, which they could,
The story tells you that, right? Again, it feels weird to say Garcia does all this, gets beat up, and then also gets shit on. But if I told you the story continues, then it feels right.
Yeah, because also, and maybe I missed something here. I believe though it's just a traditional match, right? It's not the swerve Hangman. Where that's where I think this is leading to. I think, kind of
the Dynamite Diamond Ring on a pole match,
right? And to kind of not give away my cards, I think this is the last swerve Hangman we're gonna see, especially for a while. So then to fill that void, I think this is where Garcia and MJF say,
"This is the blood battle."
We'll be the next blood. Yeah, so that's why I think this is gonna keep going,
which is great. Those two having a on site battle forever would be great. Because Daniel Garcia is a perfect, like, everything you say is bullshit guy for a guy like MJF, right? Like a perfect turn the punch bowl for everything MJF could ever try to do. If you just want to be like throwing a contrarian to him, Daniel Garcia fits that, right? He's almost the antithesis of everything MJF, right? Yeah.
So, because again, I still think that the best story that AEW can tell is right here with these two guys, Eddie Kingston, MJF. However, considering how long Eddie Kingston's been doing this and how long MJF has been doing this, a more contemporary, as you said, is a Daniel Garcia, right? Those are similar in age. They can grow for a long period of time because, and I don't know this, but Eddie Kingston might have more days that have happened for him in his career than he does ahead of it. So Daniel Garcia could be the
You saying he's traveling with ibuprofen in his bag?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's already got he's laid up right now with a leg injury, so you know what I mean? That's hard to come back from, especially when you're not in shape.
Got to get the Naprosyn, every day.
Got to get those gabapentins.
Roll Eddie, man. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and Fuck Your Mama 2 times says, I think this will be the next blood battle if Garcia resigns. Yeah, that's hanging out there. Again, we don't often dabble too much in the behind-the-scene things, but obviously that's that's one I would hate for them to lose, right? For AEW to lose Daniel Garcia. Like, I don't think he's setting the world on fire, right? He's not like, oh, what are we going to do without his storylines, right? Like, I was real worried when I thought MJF was going to leave. But Daniel Garcia is an awesome young talent to have who can fit so many, of these kind of moments, I think, and is believable and just has genuine crowd support.
Yeah, and again, we don't like to talk about the backstage stuff, but I will say this, just my observation. I have a hard time believing that Daniel Garcia is not re-signed and Tony Khan or whoever the booking committee is, because he said it's up to 27 people in an interview, would say, hey, let's give him a big spot in front of 55,000 people. Like, you're not going to have, especially with a Will Ospreay MJF match, right? You're not going to just say someone who might not be here in the future. Like, that's why.
I don't get the feeling, now I'm not Garcia determining this decision, right? But I don't get the feeling that, like, if I was Daniel Garcia, that WWE is promising we're going to give you main event or big time storylines with one of our top stars guaranteed coming out the gate like he's got here. And so if the money's similar and the spot is higher, well, I hope so too. I hope so too, but we'll see.
Oh, he's staying. What are they going to do with him over there in the Fed? Put him in a fucking circle jerk with Ethan Page? Well, no, they're going to do him in a circle jerk with Ethan Page and Brian Pillman's kid and Cody and Jade Cargill, and they're all going to be like, isn't it funny? We're here now. The person that used to run this is a sexual predator, and now his son-in-law runs it. He knew nothing.
No clue.
That? No clue. His daughter, his business partner, and the fucking ring crew knew, but not his son-in-law. I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it how just hit it from him.
The Wrestling with Neurodivergence podcast said, last Swerve and Hangman? Tom? Well, there goes Lisa's thirst, which brings us
no.
into
Yeah. And I don't mean to say like we're gonna get the last ever. I just think we're gonna move to something to then come back to it.
So your thirst is gonna have to go on pause for a little while. It's gonna have to dial down a little bit. But you can't keep the thirst at a 10 all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
If you're drinking out of a fire hose, what the fuck are you really consuming? You know what I mean? So you're
not really getting quenched. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like you gotta dial it back.
You have to savor,
Mm-hmm.
Take the moments in between. It's like wrestling. It's the moments in between the moves, right?
Exactly.
Right? It's the moments in between the moves. Right? Where are you going?
Right.
You don't want this drink up? All right, never mind.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how well my game always worked. All right, Tom. We are here to talk about
your
that.
best? No, what was your best pickup line?
I didn't have like an introductory pickup line. I was just really good at this kind of thing, right? Like get them to say something and I can wit you all day long, right? I didn't have a generalized walk-up pick line, which hurt me in those kind of scenarios because like I needed sort of that in. I needed an introduction somehow. I didn't have the walk-up game. Yeah.
If it was a lady that I wanted to talk to, but they were in a group, the way I'd get the group to like remove themselves is I would walk up to that girl and they'd all kind of be looking and I'd go, I might not be the most attractive guy in this club. And I'd look around for a second and I go, but I'm the only one talking to you. And you hear, oh my God. And then they like, get away. And then you start talking to another person. That's how you do it. Scare the friends away.
I might be broke at least, or what was it? Like I might be ugly. At least I ain't got no money. All right. So I'm very interested to know what "fuck your mama 2 times" walk up line is because she said WWND pod said, "Oh Tom, that's awful." And indeed, it sounded pretty awful. I'm gonna agree.
Oh, I didn't say it was like the thing that got him to.
You didn't say it was effective.
Yeah, I just said it got everyone else away. That was the purpose of this. Fucking all these friends trying to talk to this person. Not all of you. You guys got enough friends. Yeah. What we got next? What's the next? What's the next match we got tonight?
How could we even top that? Yeah. All right, we have a steel cage match. This is how we top it. We have a steel cage match. Hangman Adam Page, fresh off of burning a motherfucker's house down against the coolest man in pro wrestling, Swerve Strickland, AEW All Out. Whew.
Breaking news with this match. Tony Khan has announced that this is now an unsanctioned steel cage lights out match. And if we know anything about the history of AEW lights out matches, the floor is Adam Cole, Orange Cassidy, I think, right? Of all of them that has ever happened, I think that's probably the floor. Yeah. And that still fucking ruled. And then you've got the heights of Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, right? And then everything in between there. So
these two.
I mean, goddamn, they did a Texas death match where fucker Hangman just drinking his blood. What is he gonna do now? He's gonna cut him open. I bet you he cuts him open, like he cuts his thigh and then just starts, I'm gonna eat it. He's a cannibal, is what I'm saying. But yeah, so.
Well, and I would say, so my mind is, Hangman's about to do something where somebody's gonna have to stop him, but nobody can stop him. They're in a steel cage.
Right. And it's unsanctioned. So this is why I think this is important, is because now people who could get involved, the elite, have now wiped their hands of this, right? They're like, hey, nope, this ain't. Because if you could make the kind of maybe the connection, if you wanted someone to get involved here, that the elite get involved, that says, Hangman, you've lost your way. What the fuck are you doing? You need a reality check, right? And they get it. But like with an unsanctioned now, well, it doesn't reflect on AEW, so what the fuck do we care as EVPs? That kind of kicks them out of a potential storyline, at least I think. Also, this is the main event. It was not announced that this is going to be the main event of All Out. Man, I tell you what, this is going to be amazing. Also remember last year's All Out main event was Orange Cassidy, John Moxley for the International Championship when Orange Cassidy had that run of like 25 matches in a row that he won, and John Moxley just beat the fucking blood out of him.
Yeah. because he was
Yeah,
so beat
that
up
was-
and tired that he just worked him over.
And then he just, oh yeah. So this is going to be awesome
Yeah.
too.
This is going to be awesome. Who do you got here, man? This is a.
Here's the thing. Adam Copeland did an interview with Sports Illustrated that I read where he says he's really enjoying this story because it's interesting and it's great to see how Hangman was right. But the further we're getting from that moment, he is getting further from his truth, further off the path of him trying to accomplish his goal. I think this is the one that gets him completely off the horse, pun intended.
Yeah.
Swerve lost at All In. Okay. So similar to MJF, do you think he's losing 2 times in a row?
No, I don't. Mm-mm.
But Swerve has, I don't believe, let me do some quick history here. I don't believe that Hangman's actually beat Swerve, correct? Because Swerve beat him with Prince Nana's help. Then the Texas Tech match.
He said that whole thing. Yeah, I haven't beat him.
Yeah, it was Prince Nana and Brian Cage. And then the third one, they went to a time limit draw.
Yeah.
So does Swerve finally
but I still
beat
think.
him? Or does Hangman finally beat him?
But I don't think so. I think we still get Swerve winning and Hangman still being nuts about it. He may go away for a while, may get involved in something else, but like he still can't get over that he can't beat Swerve. And at some point they're going to come back to that and Swerve will be like, dog, what, man? Like, can we stop doing this? Right? And then like Hangman will have to do something outlandish to get him to be like, all right, you made it personal again.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go first. I love Swerve. Swerve is great. Swerve is amazing. I think Swerve, what he's done since the All Out tag team match against the Acclaim to today has been outstanding, phenomenal work. And I think he's a main event guy, probably from here until he decides not to be. But Hangman's one of the main characters of AEW, right? If you're really boiling it down to what is AEW, the 2 main characters are Hangman Adam Page and MJF. Everyone else is great. Kenny Omega and all the stuff. The 2 main characters is Hangman and MJF. So well, look at that. Salute to them. Celebrate. So I gotta go. No. Fuck it. I gotta go Swerve because you can't burn someone's house down and then be like, and then I win. So I'm going Swerve. Right? You can't be like, I just conquered it. Well, but Swerve fucking threw a t-shirt on his kid and, you know.
Man, Tom, I don't know how you did it. You walked me right up to being like, you're right, Hangman's going to win this. And it's just the last second you're like, but left turn, nah, Swerve. Can't burn the guy's house down. I was like, that's true. You can't burn the guy's house down. Now you left me with, I don't know what the fuck to do. Man,
Because here, I'm sorry to cut you off. Because how much fun would this be? Who's to say that they're this creative? Again, hire me. I can write this stuff for you. But what if then this is the spark that is the downfall of Swerve Strickland, right?
So that's why I said you can flip the script here, right? You can flip the script and you can get Hangman his come up and the Swerve goes crazy and he goes away for a little bit and by all means could deserve a break. And so he starts going into it, and then he resurfaces later when Hangman's kind of forgotten about what's going on. And that's kind of what I'm leaning with right now. Right? That's kind of the lean I have, but it's a slight lean. Right? I could write either story.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with the Swerve one is he's got to go away for a while, right? Well, both of them do. I feel like you can't run it back.
Yeah. I mean, that could totally be the case, right? Whoever wins goes away, whoever loses goes away. And then we see the reemergence of whatever. And then the, tournament, we enter a mystery person and it's the other person. But I think, I'm going Swerve. I don't think
Swerve.
I don't think he kind of with the MJF thing. I don't see that they're going to have him lose twice. But God, I can't wait.
But man, I mean, kind of what you said, this would leave us with Hangman always losing to Swerve, right?
Okay. So devil's advocate on that. Where have we seen Tony Khan before he did AEW? In the crowd of ECW shows. What's their greatest story? Tommy Dreamer never being able to beat Raven. Now, until Raven went to WCW. But you get what I'm saying. And you know what I'm saying? So he could be like, this is my, what's the word? Homage, whatever the fuck the word is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is my homage to ECW. Hangman never beats Swerve. Could be the case.
Yeah, and I feel like we're in a situation where it's like you said, Hangman is justified for what Swerve has done to him, but he's kind of the heel right now in this situation.
Yeah, because
he's kind of the bad guy right now.
Yeah, going by 1980s babyface standards, the babyface never goes down to the heel's depths of evil.
And doesn't burn a house down.
Right. And so now we have, again.
Well, especially in light of here's my childhood family moment, burn your house down. It wasn't like, oh, I bought a new home because I'm a rich guy. Mm-hmm. And we torched it, right? A la Stone Cold or something.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to, just because we have precious little differences here, and I'm a lean either way, I'm going to go with Hangman here. And I'm going to go with Hangman wins. And these two fight into the void till the rest of the time. I think Mick Foley one time said in an interview that he had this feeling that him and the Undertaker had lived millions of lives or whatever, and they fought forever. It's that's what this feels like with Hangman and Swerve. That these guys have been fighting from the dawn of time.
Yeah. And I hope, just complete side note, and we'll get back on track because it is getting late.
Sure we will.
But here's the thing that would be so fucking cool. Let's tie it up a loose end here. Let's say whatever Jon Moxley's doing is the devil and the firm levels of potential. Remember when MJF came back as the devil and he had the firm there, right?
Yeah.
That kind of takeover-esque, but obviously CM Punk has a weak brain and a weak body, so he couldn't handle it. He couldn't, right? He had torn bicep. Anyhow. Suck it, Phil. But what I was going to say is, remember his buckshot Larry? Oh, it fell on my ass. Oh, it fell on my ass. Oh, it fell on my ass. What an athlete. Yeah, what an athlete, pal. I tell you what, you must be great fighter. Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, if this Jon Moxley thing does become that level of takeover, if Tony Khan is the only two people that I can get that can fight this off is Hangman and Swerve. Oh, how much fun would that be? If Tony Khan's I'll do whatever it takes for you two to take on, I'm just making up names, Jon Moxley and the Elite and Danielson. I don't know who the other side would be, but that would be fucking cool. Wouldn't it?
So either way, whoever wins this one, right? Whatever. They keep feuding for a while, right? They're still going at. Let's say they don't go away. One of them wins and they're still fighting the next pay-per-view, whatever. Let's say it's Hangman loses. He's downtrodden again. He's drinky Hangman, right? Swerves, I'm ready to move on. Fuck this guy. But drinky Hangman still keeps coming around trying to fight, but he's too drunk to fight, And then we get Tony I need you guys to save us. And they're the odd couple. And we're trying to snap drunky, depressed Hangman out of being resentful to Swerve, right? Who's also this guy's a chump. What are you talking about, right?
Yep.
And then, that would be amazing television. Amazing. And I think the Wrestling with Neurodivergence pod folks agree with you. Says Swerve and Hangman teaming up would be awesome.
But just for a one night. I don't want them going for the tag titles. I'm just saying save the company.
Yeah, this isn't the bar situation, right? Where we now we're friends. No. Mm-mm.
Oh, motherfucker. Because, again, I'm sorry. Just think of how much fun this would be, right? You do this match, whoever wins, right? Boom. Then they go away for a while. The winner comes back. Hey, what's up? I'm in a tournament to become the champion. Go through the thing. I may lose, whatever. Da, 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 da. Then the other person comes in. Hey, I'm with the Elite or I'm against the Elite. Da, 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 da. All that stuff, right? And then it's a one night only Hangman Swerve has to defend the company against John Moxley and the most evil corporation or evil faction we've ever seen. And then as soon as they win, Buckshot Larry, fuck you, Swerve, and then it's right back into like fuck you, fuck
throwing
you,
hands, cutting them up.
Like they could even
gigging them with a fork.
Yeah, like they could even do the ref is in between them. They're holding their hands up. Then they look at each other and like, so I guess this is done. What? And then they just start hitting each other.
There you go. So you got the refs hold their hands up. They're like, yeah. And then he just sees them staring at each other and he's like, I'm going to get them bags out of the way. And they just go at it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to just get out of here. You two do what you do.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on so we can get this over with, Tom, because I think we're going to pick the same on the remaining 3 matches, but we'll see.
Name your sex tape?
Yes. Which
right?
one? TBS Championship.
We gotta get this over with.
We gotta get this over with. Yeah. Name of my sex tape. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of my sex tapes. The TBS Championship is on the line. Mercedes Moné, Hikaru Shida. And look, I love Shida. Think she's awesome. Obviously, done a lot for this company. She's not winning this match. Mercedes Moné is coming out here with this title.
Yeah. Yeah. If
Shida wins, it's by DQ or some weird thing, but Mercedes, I'm going to say Mercedes Moné is still the winner of this match.
Yeah, I think this might be the starting point of the teasing of Shida being a heel, right? She's been like, I'm the ace. I need to prove this. And this could be what the fuck? Kendo stick to Mercedes. And then we can keep it going or not. But for that night, Mercedes wins. Mercedes, by the way, had a dress on tonight that wasn't a good look. It was also announced tonight by Christopher Daniels that Brickabitch Camille is not going to be ringside. For those new that heard that, I'm not calling her a bitch. We think a great gimmick would be if she hit women with a brick. So she bricked a bitch.
The brick house. So
yeah.
She's bricking a bitch.
Yes.
And then you sell the bricks, the foam bricks, that say brick a bitch. She's like, I'm a brick a bitch. Is a phrase. Don't get bricked up in this bitch. Anyway, what do we
I know that Marina Shafir is a fighter. But man, Camille is a much better aesthetic with John Moxley than and she can wrestle and cut a promo. Like, I know we like Marina Shafir because she knows an armbar and she's married to Roderick Strong, but Camille is the better aesthetic.
Roddy the Body.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know why he's not doing a porn star gimmick as Rod Strong.
He looks like it right now.
Yeah. Rod Strong.
Yes.
Just steal the Val Venus gimmick. Fuck that guy anyway, too. So, just.
Yeah. Oh, these guys would be handling my bags. Bitch, we don't remember a fucking match from you. You had a catchphrase and that's it.
He's like a weirdo, too, online. He's an ass. Anyway, Mercedes Moné wins. Mm-hmm. She's still walking around with brick a bitch. And I think the folks in the chat agree with us, right? We want Shida, but Moné is taking it. Ace of the women's division, but Moné is winning.
Quick devil's advocate. Britt Baker comes in, costs her title. That could happen. Where's Britt? She loses and just goes away. That's not her.
True. But then I don't feel like because then they're just fighting each other over what? Just that you did that, right? Now the title's gone.
Triple threat.
Triple threat. I want my title back, but I also want to beat your. Yeah, Mercedes could even be like, so I'll show you. And then Shida could be like, I don't need you, right? Being more heelish, like I don't have to fight you. She'd be like, I want a triple threat, and she'll be like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll beat the both of you, something like that.
Yeah.
Stupid. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can figure it out. We can work there. We can get there. The international championship on the line was the American Championship, which was the international championship, which was the All-American Championship. Or what was it? No, it was the what was it before?
Intercontinental. No, that was international continental class. I don't know what it was called.
Wasn't there something else? It was something else.
Yeah,
right?
It was something first. Yeah, it was something. Tell us in the chat. We don't remember. I have so much brain fog, brother. I told you this before, but I had it happen again. Last week, forgot my middle name. Couldn't fucking think of it. It was so embarrassing. I was like, motherfucker. I was applying for something.
Joseph?
And I was just, I seriously, I had to grab my wallet and look at my ID.
I know it's
James.
J.
Yeah, it's James. Yes. The song Moni 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 Moni, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's sang by Tommy James and the Shondells. That's who I'm named after.
Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
Something else about Tommy James and Shondells? They didn't think Woodstock would be a big enough event, so they turned it down. Smart guys. They said, this ain't going to be a big thing. No thanks.
Yeah, it's a good decision.
I haven't heard of Woodstock since.
Good
Yep.
Osprey Pac. Osprey's
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pac could win this match anytime.
Nah.
But Osprey just won this title. Osprey's the star. Lisa from the Wrestling with Neurodivergence pod says, it's okay, Tom. I'm named after Elvis's daughter.
Yeah, but at least it's Elvis. And even Elvis's daughter was married to Michael Jackson. No, you don't fucking know that band. They do.
You have to tell people. Though. You're like, the song.
Yeah.
And people are more thinking about that, and they're like, "Oh, neat." Yeah.
Crystal Blue Persuasion. Yeah. They got some bangers. I'll tell you that much. I do like them. I don't know
that I was named after anything. I think it was just there's a name.
Yeah.
There's a name that looks good.
Sure, that's fine.
I know they did fight over this. My dad wanted to name me Grady. And my mom was adamant, we're not doing that, right? Again, think 1980, right? Grady. And my mom was like, no. And my sister one time asked, she was like, Dad, if Mom would have died in childbirth, and he was like, oh, yeah, he'd have been Grady. And she was like, but what if she would have said, whatever you do, don't name him Grady. He's like, Grady's a great name. Strong name. He said.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great story.
So we're both saying Osprey here. Osprey. Osprey.
Mm-hmm.
He'll stand there looking beautiful, right? Everybody shine out.
He's gonna lose this. Yeah, he's gonna lose this title in not a spectacular fashion. He's gonna lose this title to then propel him back into the title picture with whoever that person is.
Fuck your mama 2 times. Says thank your mom. Yeah, could we be doing this? All Elite wrap up with Grady and Tom. Then I don't know that we would have been friends. We wouldn't have been friends. It wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah, I would have been like, hey, man, just keep producing the show.
That guy Grady.
Yeah.
Weird.
The only Grady I know is the current manager of the White Sox, Grady Sizemore.
There's you can't even there's no cool shortened nickname for that. I can't be
Greats.
What? Yeah, Grades? Yeah, you can't do shit. I gotta go by a middle name, and then who knows what the fuck weird name that would have been. All right. The AEW World Championship is on the line, which means Bryan Danielson's career is on the line when he successfully defends this title against Jack Perry.
Yes. Yep. 100%. Because here's the other thing too. I know that we kind of move quickly past Jack Perry, Darby Allin, but I don't feel that Darby Allin can just lose a coffin match. Sting comes out and helps. And he's like, yeah, that was fine. I guess I'll just talk to John Moxley and forget all of that in the past. I think there's still something that Darby's going to be like, you think you're going to become champ? Not the fucking chance. Wow. I got you, bitch. Something.
So Darby shows up to fuck with Jack Perry, which then John Moxley's like, bitch, fuck. No, I've been looking for you. Right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, and runs out of there on a skateboard or something.
Ooh. So we know that the cage match is going to be the main event, right? So it wouldn't be the lasting image. So you could kind of get away with it. But you could do that, right? You could do Jack Perry and the Elite try to fuck over Danielson. The Blackpool Combat Club get rid of the Young Bucks, right? And then you got Jack Perry with his title or something like that. Darby grabs it from him. Jack Perry looks, turns around, takes a knee. 1, 2, 3. John Moxley comes in, takes out Darby Allin. And then we could be like, I was wanting to talk to him. And Bryan Danielson's like, say what? Why are you here? Could have a.
Yeah. He could be like, hey, you didn't check on me. You didn't say me.
Yeah.
You ran for him.
So
I needed your help.
Yeah. And that could start no, I'm here to do something bigger than the Blackpool Combat Club. Because again, I think he's gone, right? But we just haven't said it. So
yeah, I agree. Fuck Your Mama 2 times says Tom would punch you if your name was Grady.
No.
Well, I tell you what, if I was like showing up and they're like, pick a sparring partner, you'd be like, give me Grady.
Yeah,
Grady.
probably. Yeah, I'd trip you. I would for sure trip you, but I wouldn't hit
Definitely
you.
a swirly or two in my scholastic
No,
career,
I would
that's
do
for sure.
I would do the one thing where I open the door for you, and as you walk by, then when you do, I kick your feet together and you fall down. Like,
Yeah. Or do one of the like, great job, man, pat you on the back, and then you got to sign like, I'm gay on the back thing. Again, this is back in the 80s, right? Yeah, this would have been, the death of me socially.
Yeah.
Right down, gay right on the back of my shirt. Yeah. Yeah, could you imagine how many times I would not get picked playing basketball if my name was Grady?
I don't know.
How worse would my life have been? Well, there's Grady Dick.
Yeah, well, and also Grady
Which
kind
I'm
of
just
feels
as
like,
good as Grady Dick. Just as good.
yes, but it also feels like that's a type of name that's specific to a sport. So if you picked a sport, it feels like, oh, well, he was obviously named after his great grandfather, who was a catcher for the Oakland A's. Like, of course he's going to be fucking good at baseball.
Grady
Like, you know what I
Maurice
mean?
Johnson,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but well, okay, well, obviously
Led the league in triple doubles in 1948.
Yeah, he's obviously got a great curveball. So we're gonna just let Grady pitch. Okay, he's
Right.
all-time pitcher. Everyone, come on.
It does sound like an old money name. I will say
Yeah.
It does sound like an old money name, which my dad was from North Carolina, right? So he's down from that down south. There's probably some Grady's hanging around down there. That's probably why he thinks that.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, I'm excited for All Out. There is no watch along at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. Again, some scheduling concerns prevented. Excuse me, I keep trying to screw that word up today. Prevented that. So stay tuned for more of those possibly later. But again, hit us up. If you did not join the conversation and give us your picks, we want to know what your picks are. Hit us up on the threads, the Gmail, all of that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be live posting on the threads. Tim might jump in there as well and post some of his thoughts, but I will definitely be on the ones and twos, clicking the knobs and moving the faders and typing all the keys. And so join me there.
Almost forgot. Since we have 2 matches picked differently on this card, Tom.
Oh, I'm going main event. I gotta go top level. It's the fucking thing that we're all tuning in for. It's the swerve.
You say swerve.
Hangman.
Your tiebreaker isn't Willow over Statlander. Your tiebreaker is Swerve over Hangman.
Because I also want it to be some dramatics as we go to the main event, right? Because if I just beat you in 3 matches, well, then that's not fun, so.
The Wrestling with Neurodivergence pod wants to know if you'll be tagging All Out on threads. I mean, I think you tend to throw in the tags when you can, if you remember, right?
Oh, yeah. On threads, yeah, of course. Hashtag AEW All Out. Yeah.
All Out or whatever it is. Yeah, all that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, again, I think it's a hashtag AEW All Out, but I also kind of like post generally, and then I'll see, everyone's saying just hashtag All Out or whatever, and then I'll follow that because I don't want to be like, this is my thread. So I just,
So, all right, check us out, alleatwrapup.com. All the links are there. Stay tuned with us, and we'll be back next week. Oh, well, we don't know. Tom's going to be out of town. I'll probably try to do the show solo if we can fit it in. So at the very worst, we'll be back in 2 weeks, but we'll probably be back here next week with maybe just me. Maybe I'll just be here to entertain you, which is all the more reason you need to be live with us in the chat. It's going to be boring if it's just me talking about what I thought. Need to hear your thoughts right here next week on the All Elite Wrap-Up.